And just inhale. Another simple way to practice. Phase 3 going on. First, I would say go see your esthetician because then welcome to the wellness vlog. This week I thought I would share creative ways to increase your daily joy. So I'm going to share ways that I focus in on my joy on a daily basis. So it may give you some ideas, and if it does, great. If it doesn't, hey, I tried. Okay, so with that said, let's talk wellness here. So you have 7 areas of wellness, and it's when you neglect an area that can be a detriment to your wellness and your overall health. So today, let's talk about occupational wellness. So yes, occupational wellness is your job, but it's also the daily tasks that you have to do, the daily chores that you have. It is your hobbies, and it's social media. It's all the things that you do on a daily basis. And how do you view the components that occupy your time every single day? I'll just give an example of your job. If you are a person that hates their job, could you view it from a different perspective each day? And it is about being mindful and being purposeful, not that you will just all of a sudden have every day be joyful and magical and all the things. I'm not saying that, but it's just, could you take a step back and maybe see it from a bigger picture or a different perspective? That's all I'm saying. I'm just a joy advocate. I'm a wellness advocate. So let's talk all the things occupational wellness this week. So right now I want to talk about energy suckers. So things that suck your energy where you're just like, oh my gosh. Well, let's talk procrastination. So people that procrastinate the things that they need to do. I like to set 10-minute timers for myself. It helps me. So what I'm going to do is tackle the yard right now. I do a 10-minute timer, and I typically go over that, but I at least set 10 minutes. And there's days where I'll set my 10-minute timer and I'm done after the 10 minutes. But then there's days where I actually work on it longer. So I'm going to work on that right now. See where the bird feeders are. Unfortunately, they make a huge mess. The birds, they're great. I love them, but they make a huge mess. So that's why I have a mask, a hat that I'm going to wash, my property of Cullen sweatshirt, if you know, you know. And I'm going to tackle, see those grasses underneath? I'm going to be pulling those out so that I can hopefully move the bird feeders back a little bit. That's the goal, but we'll see what I get through. I got to go get gloves too. I forgot to grab the plastic ones that I can just throw out. So that's my goal. Here we go. Phase 2, pulling out that icky grass. Phase 3 going on now, putting down the mulch. Okay, so I feel pretty good about this little area before the lilies come up, and then you see that fence right there. I'm going to be putting up a vertical garden for that, and then for the grass I need to work on that. So those are my next little steps. So again, just doing those 10-minute timers for that procrastination. And let's go in and talk a little bit more about energy drainers. So the last things I'll say about energy drainers, because they're a downer. Who wants to talk about that? But what I'll say about it is just clutter, obviously, cleaning up spaces. And again, setting that 10-minute timer can do wonders. I just did that this morning with the gym, and my little workout area, it makes such a huge difference. And it does. I'm not great at it. I will say that. I'm not great at it, but I work on it. Also, if you are an over scheduler, if you say yes to everything and you have so much planned in your day, well, could you plan in meditation? Could you plan in yoga? Things that are proven to reduce stress in your life if you are consistent with it. And if you're a person that's like, oh, there's no way I could ever sit and do a meditation. Well, I bet you could sit for 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes, and just focus in on your breath. So like sitting in a chair and sitting tall, and then just inhaling for a 4 count and exhaling for a 4 count. Literally putting your hands right on your stomach, and then inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. And you'd close your eyes if you want and just inhale, exhale, and then literally set that 2-minute timer on your watch or on your phone and do that. And you will notice big differences when you are consistent with it. It's something I do personally. Mindfulness is a form of meditation, and another simple way to practice this is by looking at the sky. So just noticing the colors, noticing the textures, noticing the sounds that you hear that are near and that are far, and just taking that moment to focus in on the now is a great stress management tool. Now I'm going to talk energy givers while I do my green juice. I personally like to do juices more than I like smoothies. Smoothies are just thick. Yes, they are better for you. They have more fiber in it and all the things. I'm taking out some of that when I juice. I use a blender and then I strain it. So I have 4 bunches of spinach in here, and then I'm going to put in a whole lemon and 2 apples and a ton of ginger going in. So energy givers. Energy givers are things that feed your soul, right? So really thinking of doing things like self-care. Self-care is going to be an energy giver, maybe long-term. And it is finding those, activities that you like to do, finding workouts that you like, and being consistent with it. So, I'm a master esthetician, I'm a fitness trainer, and I'm a yoga teacher, Pilates instructor, all those things. So this is really, I'm more of that physical wellness and that self-care advocate, obviously, but it is, the more you work on these things, the more it boosts your confidence. So when you're doing a facial, first I would say go see your esthetician, because then you know the products that you should be using, and you'll get more bang for your buck if you see a skin coach, which is an esthetician, before going on your own. But yeah, of course, you can do things on your own as well. But just doing those little practices, don't think of it as selfish. Think of it as building that confidence for your body. I really think that it's important to feel your best and to just take a little time, right, of doing those things that are important to you. So I just fill up to the top with water, and then what I won't show because it's boring is blending it and then straining it. Maybe I'll show you straining. Okay, so to strain it, I have a strainer and 2 measuring cups, and then I just strain it here. Let it strain, and then I might double strain it. It just depends. I'm going to move this here a little bit. So again, a lot of this pulp is being removed, and that is where a lot of your fiber is. So you need to think about that. Don't use juicing as a replacement for your intake intake, because you obviously need fiber in your diet. But I just like to use it for more vitamins, more minerals, and more polyphenols and antioxidants. So self-care, eating well. I do the 80-20 rule 80% of the time. Try to eat healthy, eat colorfully. And then another energy giver would be the people that you hang out with. You know, there's there's people in your life, spend more time with those people in your life that feed your soul and that are energy givers. So this is why I have two. If it seems a little thick still, then I'll do it one more time. And then this will be my final product. So pour it in. And it's a beautiful green color. It's going to be pretty spicy because of the ginger, but I love that. And you can put in honey. It tastes really good that way as well. And I'll do that for my boys. So anyway, cheers. Yum. And I always make extra to put in the fridge and it'll last just a couple days. Although I want to tell you the nutrients do decrease over time, especially when air gets to it. But, you know, I'm doing my little things that make me feel better. So anyway, just wanted to share. And my last energy giver is definitely spending time in nature and getting out hiking. So let's get some sunscreen on since it's our first 75-degree day. And let's go for a little hike. All right, workout is done, hike is done, feeling good, good vibes. So occupational wellness, things that occupy your time, make sure that some of those things that occupy your time every day bring you joy, bring you contentment. All right, have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.